Okay, hi guys. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the image. That's what are images. You know what images are? Your pictures and all that stuff. So first of all, inside that my folder, you can check I'm inside my folder. Let me open it again. Inside my folder. So I'm going to create a new folder. I'll say new, I'll say folder. I'll call it images. That's the only thing I've done so far. I'll just say images, okay? Then I'm going to open it. Then I'll drag some images from my laptop. If you don't have any images, we can go online. We can download images. I can just come here, just say, let's say Superman. There's a Superman. I'm going to get this image of Superman like this. Save image of Superman. I'll just go to my desktop. Inside of my app, inside the images, I'm going to download the image. Let's see if I can download another image. Let's get this one too. I like this one too. Say save image inside the same folder. Then now let's say Green Lantern. Green Lantern. I'm going to download Green Lantern. Right, Gardner, where is he? Okay, let me use this. Let's use this. All right. Save image. JPG file. Okay, that's all for the images. So let's go back to our text editor. Now this is the last section, the last thing we had in the last section. So we can still do them here, but let me just wipe them out for simplicity, you know. So now how can we put images in our website? But remember, you have your folder where you have your images. Remember, I created a folder and I now downloaded images I dumped here. But there's something you have to know before you can actually use images. There are things called formats in images, like for example, like your music, your video, you have MP4, MP3, things like that. So images have their own. Now if you highlight on this image, you will see where it's written PNG. You can see PNG. That shows this is a PNG file. This other second one too is JPG. This one is JPG. And this one, let's see this one. This one is JPG file. So these things are important. Let's get another image, a moving image. You can say Teddy Rod Spain GIF, GIF. I think it's GIF is pronounced that. I don't know. Teddy Rod Spain. Let's see. A GIF image. It's Teddy Rod Spain, right? Wow. So now save image as, well, this is a JPG. This is a JPG. I have to get a GIF image, something that moves, an image that moves. Okay, let me just, okay, good. This image moves. So I'll save this. The GIF image moves. You can see it's a GIF file. So I'm going to save it. So I'll close this tab. Then I'll go back to my browser. So this is the image. When you open the image, you can see it moves. See it's moving. That's a GIF image, GIF image, or whatever it is called. So now let's go back here. Now, how do we put image in our website? First, by creating the img tag. Img tag. This is how it's written. The img tag. You can do it like this if you want to write it manually, which is a waste of time. When you do this, it's the same, okay? So I'm just going to start again. I'll say img, then I press my tab. Some of you, maybe you just joining the class, you'll be wondering, how does this thing happen? Now, the way I am able to do img and I press tab or enter, you can press tab or you can press enter, and this whole thing pops up. It's very simple. Just go here, go to your extensions, download Emmet. When you download Emmet, I think that, yes, download one of these images, especially this one. This, no, not image live, this first one, midfield image. You can also download this or this. So it will start bringing out hints for you. It helps seriously. Okay, so now back to our project. So I have an image tag that I just wrote. Now if you notice, inside of my app, which is Bookie app, then I have a folder called images. Look at it. I have another folder called images where I put all my images in. Okay, so now this SRC, what does it actually say? It talks about destination where your image is. You can see what's popping up here. It says the attribute is mandatory for the IMG element on browsers supporting SRC sets. Now SRC is treated like a candidate image with a pixel density description. Just leave all that one. That one a big grammar, like I used to tell you guys. What this thing is asking you for the source. Where is the source? Where is the image source? That's the destination. That's what it's asking. So the destination of our images is in a folder called images. Mind you, you can give this folder any name of your choice. You can call it pics, you can call it whatever, but I choose to call it images to make our lecture simple. So I'll come here and say images. Now you can see my images is bringing out a /. If you press enter, now it will show you the names of all the images that you have. So let's take the first one, for example. Say download. That's the name of the image. You can see it has .jpg. This is important. Always remember we have jpg, jpeg, we have jpg, we also have jpeg. It's the same with jpg anyway. We also have png, we also have gif. If there's any more, feel free to write down in the comment section. These are the ones I know anyway. So now once we come to our folder, let's go back. Let's call our inbox. This is our image. This is the first image. Okay, we can actually make this image smaller by adding an extra attribute to it. There is an attribute called width. The width attribute, I can make it 100. Then I'll give it a height attribute. I'll make it, let's make it 250. Okay, once you refresh, this is how the image looks like. You can make images like this. Okay, now you can also give it the style, this thing. You can also give it the style attribute, but this is just the width attribute and height attribute. So I'm going to give the style attribute on the second image. So let's come here. Let's create another second image. I say img. Now press enter. Now it's asking for the destination where those images are. Remember, like I said, I have my images in the folder called images. So I'm going to call the folder name in between the quotes. Okay, so I'll say img. You can see images. Then let's take the second one. Let's refresh. Let's see what we have. Wow, this is Superman. I can also make it smaller by giving it style attribute. We can come here. I'll give it the style. Remember our style attribute in the last section we had. I can say style attribute, and I'll say width. Remember what width is. Width is when you have, you want to resize the horizontal size of something. So I said width. What should I give it? Let me just give it 100 pixels. Now I'll not say height. I'll say, let's say 200 pixels. So let's see how this one looks like. Wow, this is our Superman. Now let's go and give it another image. img. Let's give the GIF image. Let's bring that one out. So I'm going to ignore this. I'll just bring the GIF. Ignore the names. They are not really important, as long as except you can change the names are important though. You can also change them by going to your image folder, going to the right clicking and doing the property and all that stuff. So I'm bringing that moving image here, so I can refresh that one too. when you step down, you see it's too big. So let's go and reduce the size so it will align properly. So I can come here, I'll give it a width attribute, I'll say 100. I'll also give it a height attribute, I'll say 250. You can also give it the style attribute. Remember, the style attribute and the width attribute is a whole different thing. Okay, so when we refresh here, this is it. You can see it now. So this is the GIF image. That's only moving images. Okay, so I think let's stop this tutorial for now. So we'll go to the next section. Bye bye.